All right, what's up, everybody? So, I've been looking at the truly deadly arson. I built out the more meta stuff like Serena and Last Dagger, Malevolent. But after I got tired of that, I just looked towards the truly deadly arson, and I thought it looked really cool. But I wasn't able to find much in the way of guides on YouTube, so I figured I'd make one myself. So getting into it, truly deadly arson. It is kind of a pain to level up the unique ability because you have to run the normal mode over and over of the Sigma sector, which you don't really want to do since it doesn't give as much arc tuning points. But I did finally get it built. So let's take a look at the unique ability real quick. Um, so it's kind of confusing. It took me a while to get my head around it, but maybe if I explain it, it'll be a little easier to understand. Basically, when you hit an enemy, they instantly get void fire. Now, void fire by itself doesn't do any damage. It doesn't stack. They just get one stack of void fire, and then that's basically not doing anything until they get hit by a burn proc. And burn proc, you would think this weapon would actually have lots of burn procs, but it actually only has an attribute chance of 5%. See if or it's actually, the base is 4%. And then I have a little modifier, but yeah, so it's a low, so it's not going to instantly proc burn, but after about 20 shots or so, it'll proc a burn, and when that happens, it'll pop Inferno. And you really do want to max out your unique ability level on this because you can get all the way up to 1400 firearm damage on that Inferno proc. It is single target, or it may be AoE. It says explodes, but I think it might just be a single target explosion. So it does a big upfront damage of 1400, and then it procs the Inferno, which is like a juiced up burn, but it's pretty negligible, to be honest. You're looking at 31% of your firearm damage every second for 5 seconds, so not huge. But the void fire is really good. The when it procs off the burn, that's basically like getting 10 free bullets or 14 free shots into the enemy. So that's good. So definitely want to upgrade it so you can get that. Now, how good is this weapon? Its single target isn't really that good. I was kind of comparing it to the Wave of Light, and I guess I'll show you real quick. We'll just see how much damage it does over 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was about 5 seconds, 3 million damage. Switching over to the Wave of Light. We gotta reset the damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I mean, Wave of Light, you really gotta do the reload on it, actually, so let's reload. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 3 million damage, and it wasn't a full clip. How much did I say let's do it again. It's about 4 million or 3 million on the Wave of Light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so not bad, actually. It's actually fairly comparable. Let me make sure my Wave of Light has the right build on it. How do I do this? Details? Or no, module settings. Okay, yeah, it's got a decent build on it. I guess I'm missing 1 or 2 mods. But, is that my... Yeah. Okay. So yeah, actually not bad damage, but where it really shines, and you probably heard if you looked into the Deadly Arsenal at all, and the whole reason I'm on Lepic, is because it has the penetration. So you can clump people up and it kills them all, which is the big advantage to the weapon. So basically it has infinite punch through, as far as I can tell. Now getting into the charge levels, the charge levels actually basically don't do anything. So I'll show you. I put a, it's really negligible what the charge levels do. So if I go into my inventory, I actually built a low attack speed, so it's easier. So this is a low attack speed. And you can actually see, so 25s, 26s, 27s on the crits. Level 3 is 27s. So you're only really getting, less than 10% from the level 3. So beam charge rate you don't really have to worry about. It does make the beam look cooler, and so I'm not sure if it has like a better hitbox or if it goes farther or anything like that. If anyone knows more details on the charge level effects, please let me know. But as far as the damage goes, it's not much. So so again, just so you can see now on the screen you can see that little icon. That's the void fire, but as you can see he's not taking any dot damage. So you have to get a burn proc. So if I use my burn from my Q, there you can see it did a big chunk of damage. I think it was 370. Usually it's in the millions. Let me try again. So I get void fire. Oh, there goes an inferno. So that was a burn proc from the truly deadly arson right away. Alright, so he's got the void fire on him. Burn him with the grenade. I didn't see. Well, maybe if you pause the video you can see how much damage that the proc does, but usually it's in the millions for this particular build. So hopefully that explains to you and better understand the Deadly Arson. It's definitely a weird one, definitely a fun one. I'd say its best case scenario is when you have lots of elites, because let's be honest, the fodder enemies, they're just gonna die to the bunnies and the Ineses. But if you have a bunch of elites, then you can clump them together with the Lepic, then that's something that this weapon would really excel at, because it does have pretty good damage, especially against fire vulnerable enemies. Going over the mods real quick. So I put crit damage on it. You could make an argument for a lot of things. It already does have 2 blue slots for the void cores, so I wouldn't recommend putting a 3rd blue slot on the flex core, just because it's kind of diminishing returns. Obviously you definitely only really want to go with the fire, because the other ones don't have as much effect. If you go to the details, back to the unique ability, you only get 5%, so you really don't want to put like chill or electricity. You just want to go with fire, and I wouldn't really even bring this content unless the enemy is weak to fire or neutral. So going back to the build, or actually, yeah, let's talk about the cores. So yeah, a couple of fires, it's a no-brainer, and you don't really want to put a 3rd fire on the flex because it's you know, kind of diminishing returns. So I could definitely see an argument for firearm attack on the flex slot, but crit damage is good too. Crit rate could be good as well. And then I went with fire rate, but you know, you can make arguments for more quality of life on the green slot. Like you could maybe go reload speed or magazine size. I thought magazine size would be good because you get to stay on your level 3 charge, but it turns out the level 3 charge really doesn't add that much damage, so I think fire rate's probably the best for the green. And then the purple, I haven't even slotted it yet, but I should probably slot whatever the faction for Sigma Sector is, because that's where I've been using this weapon the most recently, since they're weak to fire. And then yeah, you can kind of figure out for yourself. I went with firearm, crit rate, crit damage, and then the attribute trigger. Attribute trigger you don't really want because it's only 4%, but it does help you proc the fire a little bit faster without having to use a burn spell. So yeah, going back to the main build. Oh, maybe that's why the procs was so low, is because I was on the bad build. Let's see how much the Inferno proc does. Oh, I missed it. Let's see. So he's got 69. There it is, 979. So 979 proc. So it's a nice chunk of damage. Yeah, so that's a truly deadly arson. It's obviously not gonna, you know, clear hordes of mobs as fast as a bunny. It's not gonna, you know, really be able to compete with the malevolent as far as killing mobs. But I would say for grouping, you know, for grouping elites and strong enemies, like this is pretty good. This is one of the best weapons in the game for that, I would say. Obviously, if you're on like a Serena, then you could just use your 4 and use any weapon in the game. But it's fun to use different weapons, and You know, I could see this becoming maybe better depending on how the patches go. But there you go, truly Deadly Arson. I do recommend getting it. Like I said, it's a pain because you have to run that stupid normal mode Sigma sector so many times, and you feel like you're missing out on so much arc tuning points. But yeah, it's a cool gun. I'd probably have to say it's my favorite out of the new weapons. I haven't really played around with the 8 but I mean it's just a sniper that does insane damage. I mean I haven't really played around with the float rifle either, uh, but yeah, give it a try. I got the Void Abyss. I think it looks kind of cool with the Lepic helmet. Kind of matches. Could maybe mess around with the colors a little bit. Ooh, maybe go for like a red knight. That could be kind of cool, actually. I might have to mess around with that. Alright, that's it. I think this is my first, maybe my first descendant video, but yeah, there's just no truly Deadly Arsenal videos out. I think I saw one, but they weren't talking. It was a pretty good video, though. But yeah, hope you find this helpful. Hope you find this helpful. Happy grinding.